Today I'm going to show you how to make macarons. You probably heard that they're pretty hard to make, which is true, but if you follow the steps in this video, you'll be making macarons in no time. A few ways of making macarons. You got the French way, where you mix the sugar and the eggs together, which is the easiest way, which we're going to do in this video. You've got the Italian version, where you have to heat the sugar. I will make a video on that version one day, but I'm not going to do that today. And you got the Swiss version. So in this video, we're going to do the French macarons. So first of all, we're going to add 115 grams of egg white. I beat these earlier, so I'll let them sit at room temperature. They have to be at room temperature. The Swiss meringue will take a bit longer to heat up. You need 110 grams of sugar, but we'll add that later when we're whisking them together. So I'll put these two beside each other. Now, we need almond flour of 140. I like to put it through a sieve. So I've got my sieve. We need 140 grams. We're going to mix the almonds and the icing sugar together. So 100 and, let's press tear first. 140 grams of almond. And we're just going to put that through the sieve. You can use almond meal. I'm using an almond meal. You can use almond flour too. 140, like so. You want to get it, when it comes to macarons, you want to get as perfect as you can, because macarons are so, one slight mistake here or there, it will ruin the macaron. So you kind of got to get every point perfect, which isn't hard to do. There's not that many steps, to be honest. But so it's 140 almond flour. Now I'm going to put 140 icing sugar. This is the icing sugar that I use if you're in Australia. So 140. There we go. Put these two aside, out of the way. I'm just going to put these together. That's it for the whisk too. I'll put a pinch of salt for taste. Just a little bit. It's enough. Don't need the scale anymore. Once you weigh up the ingredients, now this is an optional step, which if you want a smooth macaron, you know, I skip this part a lot myself, but I'll do it because I'm making the video. You can make this even more fine by just do that bit by bit. Yeah, so I'm going to put this in here, in my blender, just to make it a little bit smoother. And you don't want to overmix this either. If you break down the almond too much, it will release the oil, and then you'll get like an oily macaron. So you don't want that either. So just quick burst. You don't want to just go, switch it on obviously. I just want to see, my almond flour is very smooth, so it's not really needed. But yeah, that's the optional step. And yeah, that's nice. Look in there. It's blended really good. So be careful of that. Sharp as. So I'm going to leave that aside. Don't need this anymore either. So the next step is going to be making the meringue. Now this is the most important part. So I've got only the egg whites in here now. 115 grams. I'm going to start mixing that slowly. Until it starts to froth. And once that gets frothy, and we've got 115 grams of castor sugar. So we've got equal amount of egg white to equal amount of sugar. I'm going to keep waiting until this gets frothy. This is the most important step of the macaron, apart from when you mix in the almonds. But this part, you really got to get it to a stiff peak, especially with French macarons. If you're doing Italian, you don't really need to go stiff. But for French, it's very important because the Italian macaron is more stable because you're heating the sugar, but the French macaron, it's not as stable. So getting this to stiff peaks is very, very important. Just gonna get that in. Right, so if you look in here, starting to get frothy. And what you do is you just add a little bit of sugar, do it down the side of the bowl. You don't want to hit the whisk. So what speed do I have this on? 4. And you can use a spoon, or this is what I do. I just put it in bit by bit. Right, so I'm going to keep adding the sugar. It's getting more frothy. So we're not heating the sugar. So this is a lot easier than if you were doing like an Italian macaron, where you're trying to drip really hot sugar down the bowl without hitting the whisk and hitting you in the face and going blind. I do prefer the Italian way, which I will do, but the French way is just as good. A little bit of a flavor difference. This is probably more sweeter. Getting there, I'm almost at the end of this 115 grams of castor sugar. Here we go. Now I'm going to put this in speed 6. I've always mixed meringue a bit slower and for longer. I find it's more stable. A lot of people you can just crank it straight up, but I like to go slow and steady. Towards the end, I might go a bit harder, but yeah, let's put that in 6. So this is on speed 6. So this is going to take a few minutes. So I won't record this for 6 minutes. I'll come back when it's getting a bit stiffer. Alright, it's been a few minutes. Let's just check this. See how it's flopping? That's not a stiff peak. So we want that to stick in the air. So I'll put that back on. Actually wasn't even connected properly. But anyway, let me put that back. I might crank that now to 8. If you notice, if I can get the camera in there a bit more, it's getting like a glossy look. And when you know it's ready and it's getting stiff peaks, the meringue will start to build up into the whisk. And you'll notice the meringue will start just going into the center of the whisk. It's very hard to see because it's going so fast. Let me just slow this down a bit. Let me stop it. See how it's kind of building up into the whisk? That means it's getting closer to stiff peaks. But it's still got a little bit to go. Okay. This is stiff. See that? When I do, sometimes I will put this in the mixer and mix it for a few seconds, sorry, but I'll do that in my Italian version of the video because that's more like advanced. I'm going to get my bowl. I'm going to put all the egg white in here. So want to get as much of this egg white out as you can. There's no sugar in there, so that means that all the sugar has been mixed in. Here we go. So this is the meringue. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add half the mixture in. I'm just going to gently, you don't want to knock air out, just fold this in to the mixture. I like to put the bowl, you want a big bowl too, it's easier to mix the macaronage in a bigger bowl. I like to think it was like a washing machine effect. You just kind of spinning it on itself, cutting through the middle and spinning on itself. All right, I'm going to stick the rest in. So there is a lot of washing up when it comes to macarons. Now I'm going to fold this in. You can add colors to this as well. For the colors, I'm going to use a gel. I like a berry color. You can use powders too. That's the only way I would color a macaron. We never use oil, like the oil versions of the colorings, because they will make the mix break down. A few drops on there. Okay, so I will just move this here. Get this over there. I'm going to mix this in gently. You want to keep mixing this until it comes off the spoon, which it's not at the moment. Like I said, we're not going hard, we're just going gentle. Like a washing machine. Whoosh, whoosh, and occasionally cut through the middle, like that. I've got this thing where I put the bowl at an angle. It just makes it easier. And I'm just cutting through. You see, it's getting, because you want a lava effect when it's mixed. So okay, we keep going. Get all the corners. Now, if you don't mix this enough, you'll get macaron tops that have lumps on them, like a squiggle. And if you overmix this, the macaron will spread. So you want to get it perfect. It takes a few times to get this right, but if you can just get, I'll show you what to look for. See, that is just a little bit longer, a little bit more. It's best to undermix and overmix, because if you undermix, you can just hit the tray until they go flat. Where if you overmix, there we go, that's getting better, that's good. So goes to that again. So that's good. See how we're getting this lava? Yeah, okay. Probably go a little bit more, but I'm going to leave that as is. So now on the piping part, I have these mats that I love, the silicone mats. You could also use silicone paper. You can get like a stencil online and just print it onto the paper. In the past I've used the Teflon sheets, but because I'm baking on the stone, the Teflon kind of overcooks the macaron. So I'll do both. I'll do one on the paper and use that as a guide and take it off, and I will do one on the mat. That's how to do it. I'll do that. Okay. Now you want a piping tube about a 1/2 inch thick. That's a circle. I want to put it in. So now I want to put the paste into the bag. If you want to get the whole lot in one go, use a cup. Put that in the cup. Okay. And that's the macaron paste. Now for piping, you just want to squeeze it gently, a little bit off the tray. So you want to go here and spin. Just squeeze gently. You can make these whatever size you want. I go to about the line in the middle on these templates because I'm going to be hitting this tray soon. You just want to squeeze gently. It's actually cold, so it's like trying to keep warm while doing this. It's giving me a bit of shaky, but yeah, go like this. This part here is where you tap the tray. I'm not going to talk while tapping because then I can't edit my voice out over the loudness of the video. So I'm going to tap these. This knocks out the air and it spreads them to the size I want. This is one of the reasons why I make my macaron a bit stiff. This is one of the reasons why I make my meringue a bit stiff, so that I've got more room to work here. You can hit with your knuckle under here. I'm not going to be resting these macarons to dry. Some people do. If it's humid where you are, maybe you would need to let this If you see any air bubbles, you could go across and pop them, but these are quite fine. I'll let that sit. Now I'm going to do the one on the silicone paper. I'll probably sound a bit sick because I spent the first part of this week sick. But okay, so let me just pop that out. Ooh. Like so. See, what I'm doing is I'm pushing and breaking fast. I'm not pushing and then falling off like that. I'm pushing and then I'm snapping off. If you go like this and you keep pushing, you're going to get like... Alright, so I'll take away the guide. So these are on silicone paper now. I'll do the same thing with them. And I will spread this out. It's a lot different without the guide. Like I said, this is why I make my meringue a bit stiff, so that I can focus more on getting the air out in this booth. Too much air in the macaron mix can cause hollows, and you want to get a full macaron. All right, you could also do it like this if you wanted to, but yeah, all right, they're good. So I'm going to bake this in a stone oven. If you're using a stone oven, put wires on the stones so that the heat is a bit off the tray. Also, another trick, which I never said, use the tray upside down, because macarons on the edge will get affected if you were using, say, just grab this. If you had the macarons towards the edge of, like the edge of the tray, the heat of the edge can affect them. That's why I use the tray upside down. Now I'm going to bake these for 14 minutes. So I'm going to put that in there. If you're using a home oven, turn the fan off. The fan will affect the macaron. It will make them lopsided. But yeah, and if you're using a home oven, bake them for 7 minutes and turn them around for 7 minutes. But yeah, I'm going to bake this on 140 for 14 minutes. All right, so it's been 14 minutes. To tell if they're cooked, just move one and see if it moves. That's a little bit on the wobbly side. Yeah, just got to leave that another minute or so. I did over mix them slightly. They've kind of spread it a little bit, but not bad. These ones are nice. They haven't spread it at all. So you'll notice the silicone paper, it doesn't go as round as when you use the silicone sheets. These sheets here, which is why I love these sheets. But yeah, they're going good. I'm going to give them another minute, and then I'll pour them out and let them cool down. Yes, that's nice. All right. Don't want to overbake them because they're cracked. So I could have used a toothpick and popped some of the bubbles, but that's fine. Gone a little bit. No, actually, they're quite nice. I like them. They're pretty good. Yeah. You get them under the light. Yeah, they look good. So I'll let them cool down, and then I will fill them. I usually let them cool down for like an hour before I fill them. But yeah, no, they're looking really, really good. For the filling, I'm just going to make a simple milk chocolate ganache, and that's 3 parts chocolate to 1 part cream. So this is 300 grams of chocolate. I'll then put 100 grams of cream, and I'll just put this in the microwave until it softens up, and then I'll let that sit aside until I'm ready to use. So there you go, that's the milk chocolate ganache. I'll let that sit for a few hours to thicken up, and I'll cover it over so it doesn't get a skin. Got the ganache ready to go. It's getting a bit thick. Got a piping tube. So I'm going to fill these with the ganache. So now you just want to fill like so. So we had some lumpy parts, but it's come good now. Just squeeze enough on. They're usually a bit better than this. And then you just join them together. Like so. I start piecing these together. The ganache had a few lumpy parts in it. I like to use salted caramel mostly, the buttercreams. Yep. This ganache is starting to harden up. I got the dry part that was stuck in the bag out, so there we go. This is much better. Oh, wow, that was good. That was good. Just had enough, and that's it. I'll put them together. And then I will show you how I package them. You notice the ones that aren't on the mats aren't as round either. So they're all ready to go. I'm going to package them. I'll show you what I use. It's got a whole box of them. Here we go. These boxes are quite cool. They fit 12. This box is... It can be a little bit annoying to make. So I go here. I go here. Make sure that's in there. Make sure that's in there nice, tight. And like so. And then this part here, it splits them, so it puts 6 on either side of the box. Like so. And then I'll just put the macarons in here. I prefer the buttercreams and the ganaches for macarons, but yeah, these aren't too bad. And yeah, that's how they look. And I've got another box here that I actually messed up before. And yeah. There you go. You store these in the fridge and you eat them at room temperature. So I would pull them out half an hour before you want to eat them. Let them get to room temperature, and then when you want to store them in the fridge for like a week, but I wouldn't go any longer than 3 to 4 days. And that's it. So we're gonna see if these are hollow. And see, they're perfect.
Why? Why then?
Is it yummy?
Mm-hmm.
Can I have some too?
No.
What?